Take a day off of Disney and Universal and do this stuff instead. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rick and Nikki here.
Hello.
And in this video, we're going to give you our top 6 things to do away from the theme parks. This is always a fun list to make, so let's not mess around. Let's get right to it. Here's a good one to start with, Nikki.
Okay, let's do this.
Swim with the manatees at Crystal River.
Oh, my goodness. That is a bucket list item.
You want a magical experience? Forget Disney's Magic Kingdom. Forget the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and swim with the manatees. Crystal River is about a 2-hour drive north of the Orlando theme parks.
Yeah.
This is a snorkel adventure, so no dive certification is needed.
Right.
The wetsuits, the masks, the snorkel gear, all provided to you. The guides that are with you, they will take pictures, but you are welcome to use your own GoPro. I used mine. Either way, buy pictures, use your own action camera.
That's right.
Even if it's not a GoPro. When we went there, it was cold.
Yes, and that's because that's where you're going to see most of the manatees is during the cold season because they swim up. Is it the river?
Up, down, or over? I don't know.
To get what they told us was they were from Texas, actually. Yeah. These little manatees, and they had swum up to keep warm together and by the springs.
That's because the Florida spring water is always like 72, 73 degrees. When we went out, the morning that we woke up to go swim with the manatee, it was below freezing.
Yes.
It was like 31 degrees.
Yeah, you could see your breath, and the steam was just coming off the water. You got into the water, and it felt warm.
Right, because it doesn't matter. The water's always the same.
Right.
So when the air is 30 degrees and you go into 72-degree water, you should feel a little warmth.
Exactly. And because they give you like full body wetsuits,
Yes.
which was fantastic, you're warm and everything. And then they actually kind of help you float too.
Yes.
So you don't have to be like an expert swimmer. They give you pool noodles that you can put under your arms, and the wetsuits help you stay a little bit more buoyant. And there's places where you can actually stand as well.
I would say, though, like, depending on how you swim and how you just float around looking at the manatee, if you stick your feet out of the water,
They get cold?
They might get cold.
Yes, your hands and feet will get a little chilly.
Just keep everything in the water, the 72-degree water.
Exactly.
Now,
this is also a passive observation. So you're not allowed to touch them, and you're not allowed to pet them or anything like that, which is really difficult to do because they're just so dang cute. But it is passive observation. So
they are allowed to touch you, though.
Yes.
If they want to come swim up and give you a hug, which happened with us, they can do that. But we are not allowed to actively go and touch them.
Right, exactly.
Passive observation is the key phrase.
Lots of fun.
So I think in Crystal River, is that the only, there's very few places that can do tours that take you to Manatee to swim with them.
Right, specifically with them.
What happens a lot of times during the year, these spring waters that they like to swim in, like the county or the state will shut down the state park or shut down certain areas or just not allow you to go into the water.
Right. We visited a spring, and the spring had just opened back up, and a mama and a baby manatee were there, and they had a person that was watching them and had
a state employee.
Yes, had all the swimmers and divers and everything, giving the mama and the baby some distance.
Yeah.
So there are, springs that will shut down when a few manatees are there, but this one is actively, and they also do a lot of proactive in terms of environmental things too. So your tourist dollars are being used in a very positive way in that area.
Yeah. Now, if you're just in Florida and you're kayaking, subboarding, swimming, you will run across manatee just in nature. They'll swim right under you and stuff, kayaking and stuff.
Yes.
But you're not to do anything with them.
Right.
This is one of the only, I don't want to say the only one, but very, very few operations are allowed to take you out and go swim with the manatee. So that's why we like this place up in Crystal River.
Yes. And you can also rent kayaks and stuff too. So if you don't want to be in the water and you don't want to swim with them, but you just want to you just want to observe them swimming around in the water, they do have kayaks and things like that for you.
But the most magical way
it is
to experience this is to actually get the snorkel gear, get in the tour that takes you, swim with the manatee. So it's just beautiful,
It
magical.
is. It is. Oh,
Now, the place that
definitely.
we went to, they will do group tours. We were in a group.
Right.
I think they also do private tours.
Okay.
So the prices is going to vary. So what I'll do is I'll just leave a link in the description box of this video to where we went, right?
Yeah, perfect.
And so if you want to look up some more information on
And the
that.
hotel that we stayed at as well.
Yeah, I'll leave that video too. There's an old like country place to stay at.
Yes, it's very quaint, very cute.
Plantation or not a plantation, but what I think it might be called a plantation.
Yeah, I think it's still in the name.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave a link to that video as well because I'll leave a link not only to their website but to our actual experience.
Right.
Our vlog of swimming with the manatee and our vlog of the little place we stayed at.
Right.
But this is high on our recommendation list for
Yes,
sure.
this is a must-do for sure if you are in the area.
Swim with the manatee. Next on the list, this is kind of a classic thing to do away from the theme parks, but I'm going to be very specific in my suggestion. I am going to suggest you go visit Cocoa Beach.
Okay.
So there's beaches all over, Daytona Beach, New Smyrna Beach, Cocoa Beach on the Atlantic coast, and then Clearwater Beach and all that, St. Pete Beach over on the Gulf side. But the closest one, I think, and I think the easiest one to get to if you're like visiting the Central Florida area, like the theme park area, would be Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, it's very quaint there. It's pretty close to Cape Canaveral, and so, you can make a day trip of it if you're doing other things in the area, even if you're taking a cruise out of, Port Canaveral. It's very, even I Dream of Jeannie was filmed there.
Yeah.
So a lot of like history is in Cocoa Beach, and we actually did several cool things in that area.
There's all types of
Yeah.
stuff to do there.
But yeah, it's about a 60 to 70 minute drive from like the theme park areas.
Yeah.
So it's not that far.
So you can go there for like a beach day. Also, like there's several spots there that if you already know how to surf, they do rent surfboards.
Yes, they do.
Cocoa Beach is very famous for its surfing. One of the best surfers in the world, in the history of the world.
Yeah.
It's kind of that. They have a statue of him by the Ron John shop there. The world's largest Ron John shop. But if you don't know how to surf, you can actually go to Ron John and sign up for surf lessons.
Yes, you can.
So beach day, surfing day, there's other outfits there for like jet skiing. So you can have a jet ski day, or you can like mix it up. You
Yeah,
can,
even charter fishing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can, charter a boat and go fishing out there.
so you can kind of mix it up, have a beach day, but then also work in the surf lessons or work in some jet skiing. So Cocoa Beach, a great place to visit. That's why we have it on the list.
Oh, for sure.
Do all the fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's honestly, it's very, I don't want to say stereotypical beach town Florida, but it kind of is. It's kind of got that, the old school Florida feel.
Well, they have a pier that has restaurant in it and shopping, and you can
Right.
fish from the pier and stuff. So
Yeah, so
it's a fun day.
It is.
A fun day away from the theme parks.
Right.
Next on the list, visit a Florida spring.
Oh, this is a must.
Now, these are often in a county park or a state park.
Yes.
I'm not going to name just one. I've got a few different I want to suggest to you. The first one's going to be Rock Springs.
Right.
This is Florida, if not the country's best natural lazy river.
For sure. Oh my gosh. We'll leave a link to the video that we did on it because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking inexpensive day away from the
like-
park for real Florida
Yeah.
that you can go swimming and snorkeling and tubing and it's got it all.
Yeah. This one, like for most of the state parks or the county parks, it'd be like around $6 per car.
Right.
So it's a really cheap day just to
Oh,
get
yeah.
in, especially now, like Rock Springs, since it is like a lazy river, you want to do some tubing, some inner tubing,
Yes.
or snorkeling. I went there for snorkeling a lot, but you cannot rent. They don't inside the park. They don't rent the tubes or anything.
Right.
So there is a spot outside of Rock Springs before you get there, that a little place that will rent you the tubes. You'll see
Right.
cars driving with tubes on
Yes.
top of the roof and stuff.
Because it's what, a couple streets away
Yeah, it's not
from
far.
it. It's not far.
You're not getting on the highway with holding an
inner
tube.
tube. No. And yeah, they're not that expensive either to rent. So
So it's a very fun and inexpensive day, and just
really
beautiful.
is. It is.
This spring run that you're going to tube or snorkel down, It's
Crystal
just beautiful.
clear water.
Again, 72 degrees.
Exactly. And, never have we've never seen alligators, because I know that's like a big thing. If you're not from Florida and you're worried, okay, well, I don't want to be in anything nature because I don't want to be around an alligator. There really isn't any alligators.
There are signs to warn you.
Yes.
They have to do that.
Yes,
Now,
they have to do that. But I mean, really, we've been there so many times and there's never been one. And,
this was my spot
when we've been there. So.
as a teenager. It's in Apopka, and I went to Apopka High School right down the road. So I went there a lot as a teenager and a young adult.
Right.
It has become a very popular spot, especially in the summer.
Yes, it never was like that before, but now, holy cow, get there early.
And the thing is, they have limited capacity. This is not like a theme park where they just can expand. We want you to enjoy the state parks and everything, but we also want to protect them.
Right.
So there is a limited number of people that can get in. You need to really, for Rock Springs, and this is all documented in the video that we did there, like an hour ahead of time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And like I said, it was my favorite spot as a teenager and a young adult, and only a few bucks to get in.
Right.
And the snorkeling and the tubing is just off the charts.
It really is good. Yeah.
Now, another spring in the area, also very close to the Apopka area, is Wekiva Springs. This one, you won't have the lazy river, but you can do swimming, and they do have kayaks and canoes that you can rent. For me, Wekiva Springs is kind of the best for like a swimming hole.
Yes, it's like if you want to feel what spring water is like, and almost
have a
like
large area to swim.
Yes, exactly. Bring floaties, and there's a nice lake area to kind of picnic at too.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. There's also a nature trail there, back in the back.
Right.
And then the canoeing and the kayaking area. That's where you'll see.
That's where you'll see
a lot more nature.
You will see wildlife.
You will see wildlife back in there.
A little spot where you can rent your canoe or your kayak, or you can bring your own.
Right.
I have an inflatable one that I would bring.
Right.
Or Nikki has a sup board. Once you get going back down the river, alligators.
Yes. Yeah.
And otters. We prefer the otters to the alligators.
Yes. But if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. So just just steer clear.
Don't ever throw food.
No, never.
That's a big pet peeve of mine. We'll talk about more of that later.
Yes.
When we get to the other thing.
Okay, sounds good.
But again, this is just a state park, like $6 or so to get in with one car. Fun. It's like the swimming. I call this one the swimming hole, and for kayaking and canoeing.
Right.
Now, the third little spring to visit, I think this is a private one. I don't think this is state.
Okay.
It's part of Rock Springs, but it's just a little down the road. It's called King's Landing.
Oh, wow. That one, the Emerald Cut.
Yeah.
Oh, it is just the best for like kayaking and sup boarding.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's really what this one is for sup boarding, kayaking, canoeing. Now, you can just pull over and swim if you want. There's different spots that you can just pull over, push your canoe or kayak up on shore and do a little playing in the water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Like you said, the Emerald Cut, just gorgeous. When you see that, when you go watch the video of King's Landing after this video, you'll see it's just beautiful. But also, it is one that is very popular. And especially during the summer, it can get crowded.
Yes.
Very crowded.
Oh, for sure.
And I think this one, like I said, check out the other video. You need to call and make a reservation and stuff like that.
Right. But they have rentals. They have everything there for you. So.
Or you can bring your own. So, yeah, beautiful spot.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
Stunning.
like I said, it was like crowded during the summer. Like Florida is so warm. You can really kind of do this year round.
Right.
So even if you're visiting in like January, unless the cold front gets down here, like today is like beautiful for King's Landing.
Exactly.
Today's it was like low 60s, mid 60s, just beautiful.
Well, speaking of all these springs, I really think that we need to go to one of the closest ones to the theme park, which is Shingle Creek.
We'll do it. Yeah.
I've been itching to get out on my board again. Oh my God, it's been driving me crazy. I've been like, I gotta go. I need to go. So I really think that.
All right, we'll put that on the to-do list. But the three I just named, the three springs, Wekiva, Rock Springs, and this King's Landing, they're all about a 30 to 45 minute drive from like the theme park areas.
Right.
Disney, Universal. So. And like I said, all these adventures we're talking about today, we've done specific videos for them, documenting our day. So those links will be in the description box.
Absolutely. Must-dos.
And the next little adventure Craig Cat Boating Tours. Craig Cat boats are a special, unique style of boat.
It is. And if you've never done it before, it is a trip.
It is.
They are a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
if you're just like not into jet skis, but you kind of want a little speed and a little bit of fun and you want to be close to the water, this is it.
And with these tours, you actually, you're driving the little, and steering and captaining. You're
Yeah.
the skipper.
Uh-huh.
You don't have a tour guide with you controlling the boat. You're boating.
You're the one that's boating. Exactly. And you don't have to have a boating license or anything.
No. Unless I think there's a certain age.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I think if you're like under, I don't even know.
Was it like 35 now? Like
they might have
Florida
upped it.
changed it to 35 or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
But there's 2 Craig Cat boating tours we recommend. One is the Claremont Chain of Lakes. They have one. It's a little maybe closer to the theme park area.
For sure.
But the one we had the video on is the one we really recommend. The Dora Canal. This is in Mount Dora, Florida.
oh my gosh. And the history of that tour too. Oh, it's fantastic.
The lakes there and the canal, the Dora Canal.
Yes.
It's just beautiful. It is most stunning, like natural Florida scenery you can get.
Movies have been shot there.
Yeah, they've done way back in the day, whenever they were doing those Tarzan movies.
Right.
Was that the 30s or 40s? I don't even know. Wait, that's a long time ago. I know
Exactly.
that. They filmed some of the Tarzan movies there. Maybe it was the 50s. I don't know. It's a long time ago. But you can see just how beautiful it is. And, a super fun day out there on the boats doing that, but also just like Mount Dora itself, a quaint little town.
Oh yeah, there's some great restaurants. We went to one that like used to be like a gas station, and then they
Converted it
converted
over.
to this awesome restaurant, and it was
Yeah.
just like walking distance from where you grab the
And
Craig
just
Cat boat.
as a tangent subject regarding Mount Dora, it's very popular at Christmas time.
Yes.
It's very beautiful there at Christmas time. So you might want to combine things, Craig Cat boating there at Mount Dora, and then spend the evening enjoying the Christmas scenery and food and shopping and all that.
Yes, exactly. Now you will get wet on a Craig Cat
Oh,
boat.
yeah.
So I mean, I learned that the hard way. I thought, I'm just going to get
No.
splashed. It'll be fine.
You'll see-
I was wet.
When you watch this video on the Craig Cats of Dora Canal, you'll see what we're
Yeah,
talking
you were
about.
laughing so hard the whole day. He was like a little kid. It was great.
Number 5 on our list,
This one's kind of cool.
things to do away from the theme parks.
And the best part is it's
free.
free.
This is a free thing to do.
Free.
We have met people in the theme parks who have watched that video we did on it who have done this.
Yes.
So it's free. There's no cost. This is pretty much a kind of like a safari drive.
Yeah.
You're in your own vehicle though.
Right.
You'll see on the video, we took my Jeep, we took the doors off, we took the top off. It was dusty though. It was dusty.
It's kind of dusty. It is.
You're just driving. They made this the part of Lake Apopka where they're trying to create more, recreate the marshlands and stuff. It's just drivable. They have all these roads, and on either side of you, you'll have marshlands and lake and water and stuff
Yeah, it's like
that.
the road is kind of like up on a berm, right? And then it kind of drops off on either side, and then there's water.
Right.
And then, I mean, how many gators did we see?
Yeah, I was
going to
say that we really haven't described. It's like for wildlife, but it's mainly alligators.
Oh, yeah.
Free range alligators.
And
for those of you who are into free range stuff, well, here we have free range alligators.
Yeah, these suckers are big. Some of them are really big alligators.
You'll see when you watch the video. Oh my goodness, we had some great shots of those alligators.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
But I would say, again, this is in Apopka too. Apopka's the place to be.
It is.
About a 30 or 40-minute drive away from the theme parks. You'll need to allocate because you can't turn around.
No.
Once you get going in this little safari thing or environment
We'll call it the trail.
conservation trail.
Yeah.
You're going one way, and it takes probably a couple hours, at least a couple hours.
Yeah, 1 to
Because
2 hours.
there's not too many spots where you can pass the other cars.
Right.
So sometimes you're at the mercy of the person ahead of you. But so I would allocate a couple hours for that.
Yeah, it's a slow drive. There's no stopping for water or bathroom or food. So bring your food and snacks with you and keep them all in the car and don't get out.
I would not recommend if you have to go into the bushes and
No.
gentlemen and go go make.
Go to the bathroom.
Go do that.
No. You're just gonna have to
stay in your. Anyway, you're supposed to stay in your cars anyway. Just stay in your cars.
Yes, just stay in your car.
But anyway, a cool thing to do that is free, believe it or not.
Exactly,
Yeah,
which is
pretty cool.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, and then the wild, like, bring binoculars, bring your camera, because you're going to see all kinds of, birds and stuff. There are little sections that you can pull off where
Yes.
there's like information boards
Yeah, and they
and
have
things like that.
a little covered area and maybe a bench or something.
Yeah, and then you can scan like a QR code, and as you're driving, I think you can even listen to an audio of kind of where
Yeah.
you're at, describing things as well. So, you can play music. Although the quieter you are, the more likely you're going to see more wildlife. If you're wild and and you have loud music and you're driving too fast, you won't see it. So nice. It's a nice, slow, quiet little trip.
But I know for a lot of you who live away from the South here,
Yeah.
Alligators is kind of a thing. You
It
think
is.
of Florida, you
That's
think
all
of
you think about,
alligators.
yeah.
There's even a little park here, Gatorland. Don't go to Gatorland. Just drive the Apopka Nature Conservation Trail.
Yeah. I mean, probably 20, 30 gators, and some of them are just ginormous.
Oh, yeah, I think more than that.
I think
It
it's
was
even
so
scarier
many.
when it's like out in like with the wild.
Yeah, if they want to, they can do what they want. If they want to walk right across your path, they will do that.
And they've done that. There's been pictures of it for sure.
So anyway, again, a link to that. Go check that out. And now we come upon, this is item number 6 on Rick's top 6, but it is number 1 in my heart.
Something I didn't do, in fact.
So, and it is another magical swimming experience. Like we started the list with swimming with the manatees.
Yeah.
But this is not manatees.
Now, this is a step up.
Shark diving.
All right.
Swimming with the sharks, baby. Now, this recommendation is the furthest away from the theme parks of everything on our list today. The furthest away, it's in Jupiter, Florida, which is about 2.5 hour drive, I would guess.
Right. So you could do it in a day, if you really wanted to.
Yeah, but it is in beautiful Jupiter, Florida, and Jupiter is just amazing. But back to what you want to know about is the shark diving.
Right.
Now, there's 2 ways this outfit will take you shark diving, and I'll leave a link to the group that we used. I believe it's FloridaSharkDiving.com or FloridaSharkSwimming.com, whichever way. I'll leave a link. Now, you can go in a cage, or you can go free diving, which means without a cage. Go cageless. Which is what I did. Me and Murph, by the way, if you watch my Universal videos, Murph, the bartender at Chez Alcatraz, he went with me on this shark diving experience.
Yeah, they didn't know that they were going to go cageless. They thought you guys. So
Right.
this is what hey, you guys troubleshooted it so that you don't make the same mistake that you guys did.
What I learned, my intention was to go in the cage, but what
Right.
we learned was you have to communicate that like ahead of time. Like when you make the reservation, you need to communicate that that you want the cage, because their default method is freestyle.
Right.
Cageless.
Where you just hold on to a rope.
That's what they do. They put a rope out at on the side of the boat, and you just hang on to the boat or to the rope and look at the sharks. You'll see this is the video you do not want to miss.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So just this is like my highest recommendation for 2023 and beyond. Go shark swimming in Jupiter, Florida. It was
there's different times of the year. Like you guys kind of went later in the year. When did you do it? November?
Well, yeah.
October, November?
Yeah, it was I believe it was like the second half of the year or the fourth quarter.
Oh, okay. So they saying that if you went over summer, you see different types of sharks,
exactly.
and the weather might be better because like you had some swells.
Yeah, just a
some
particular
wicked
day, and that
swells.
is a warning.
Right.
Was that we didn't even know if we were going to be able to go that morning because there was some weather coming in, and they were just like, well, the captain will let you know when you're here if he can take out the boat.
Which is difficult if you've driven 2.5 hours, to hear that, to be like, okay.
So even though we had some rougher waters and I did get a little seasick, I was happy to go.
Right, exactly.
But it's just, I was not scared at all.
Okay.
It was just, It was one of the best experiences of my life. I have recommended it to Nikki herself. I want to go again and take Nikki.
Yeah, he said that it was like one of the
You're not
most
scared at
peaceful, you know, one with nature type of like feeling that, you know, you have a healthy respect for nature, and that, you know, it's just how awe-inspiring it can all be. So
to be in the water with those incredible fish, it was spectacular.
Right.
I loved it. I would do it every time.
Wow.
I went somewhere that, well, let's just stick with the Florida shark, okay? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about Hawaii. I might see some great whites.
No,
Let's stick with Jupiter.
Okay.
So, wow, that was some good stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're visiting Florida, I want you to save a day or two, get outside the theme parks, do some of the stuff we're talking about here today.
Yeah.
This is, like, you know, it's a beautiful state.
It is. And you want to, like, if you really want to get one with nature and one with like what Florida has to offer just on that side of it, not just the tourist side.
You know, a beautiful state full of fun adventures. Like I said, everything that we talked about today in this video, I will leave links to it of our actual day of experience. So go check those out. And those will be in the description box, by the way. I haven't already told you. And as always,
Don't miss the magic, don't miss the fun.
click that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.